Okay, so I was originally gonna make this video with the script, but I started writing it down and I'm just like, this ain't gonna work. Alright, so this video is basically just gonna be, my thoughts on, just Sonic fans. Not like the fan base in general. I feel like, just more like the people who have, I don't know how to put this. Like, how like the people who you like see on social media, who like back then they were like huge Sonic fans, and then now they're just like, oh, I don't like Sonic anymore. Yeah, we're gonna talk about those people, the vocal minority. Well, I wouldn't really call them vocal minority, but you know who I'm talking about. So like, I feel like this whole like hatred against Sonic, I feel like it started happening, let's say maybe in 2014-ish, maybe. Not really 2006, because the only people who really hated Sonic then are just like critics and all that bullshit. But I feel like it's the issue with modern Sonic. Like, modern Sonic after 2003, it's just been all over the place. Like, sometimes they'll have the okay games, the mediocre games, the decent games, and then the really, really good games. It's like he has like this sort of like inconsistency when it comes to quality. And some people may like the really bad games, some people may not like the really good games, and that's fine, that's whatever, I don't really care. But I think what really drives these big people, like the people who have more clout in the Sonic fan base, I think what really drifts them apart from Sonic is not just the games themselves and their inconsistency and they're like the false advertisement of forces and all that. I would say it's more like sort of backlash on the fan base themselves. Like, I feel like they realize that like the fan base is not the best because like they express their own opinion, and then they just get bashed on and bashed on and bashed on and bashed on, and then they just can't take it anymore, and then they just leave. Like, why do you think Blue Rush 1992 left? Like, remember that guy? He was that guy who would do all those Sonic Generations smile with that like Roger Craig Smith like voice and all that. Why do you think he left? Well, actually, I don't really know why he left, but I remember back in like, let's say 2014, 15 maybe, he did receive a lot of shit. And like he even said in a Tales channel live stream, like he was there playing like a Sonic Fang where you have to play online and all that, and then like Evan invited him over. I just dropped my phone, and then he said like, don't play Sonic games, you'll just become depressed and all that bullshit. And I started thinking to myself, like, I think all these people who have probably given up on the fan base, it's not because of just Sonic himself and his inconsistency, but I think it's more of the fan base who are trying to who just lash out on these people who just openly express their opinions and all that. And there's nothing wrong with expressing your opinions. There's really nothing wrong with that. I myself used to get bashed on when I said my opinions, and like, let's say when I was like younger, like let's say in 8th grade, like I was openly a Sonic fan. Like, I was really, really open about it. Like, that would be like all I talked about. Maybe like every 5 minutes I would bring up something Sonic. Every 5 minutes. Now, I'm exaggerating, but like it was like that bad. And even in elementary school, it was a lot worse, I think. But yeah, people get tired of me and they tell me to shut up. And over the recent years of all that backlash, I'm just like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should just like go, just bring down the dial just a little bit, just like not with your friends who don't really know Sonic and all that. Well, now, the thing that I just brought up, it's not really in relation to the things that I just said about the fan base and all that, but it's sort of like the same thing. It's like the backlash that you get from people who are just like the backlash that you get from people where you're just expressing something that you love. Depending on how the person is, it's probably gonna hurt them. Not necessarily like hurt them, but something's gonna happen. Like let's say you what's a good analogy? Like let's say okay, here's a good one. Like let's say you really like pizza and you keep eating it over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually you're gonna get tired of it, right? Maybe that's what people feel like with Sonic the Hedgehog at this point, they keep playing and playing and playing and playing, eventually they just get burned out and then they just try something new or something. Or they leave, which is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think the main issue is that we, as a fan base, just need to respect people. People say that, the Sonic fan base is one of the worst fan bases out there. While I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that opinion. I would mostly stay neutral on that topic, but I can see what the fan base has done to people, and I can sort of agree at the same time. But then again, two of my closest friends are Sonic fans, so I can disagree at the same time. And we discuss Sonic topics, and we discuss calmly, civilly, because we like the character, we like the brand. So when people backlash on these people, it's just not the right thing to do at all. Because what I'm basically trying to say is we just have to be nice to each other. No, that's the wrong. We don't have to be nice to each other. We just have to respect one another. Not just in the fan base, but just with people in general. You just have to respect people. You don't know how the person's going through. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know if they're getting abused, if they've been bullied and all that bullshit, blah blah blah. So you just gotta be careful with when you meet people for the first time, and then if they say something you don't agree with, then just don't take it too personally, I guess, because they probably didn't know that you took that thing to heart. I'm trying to think of something. When I was in elementary school, I loved Sonic, and then someone I remember some kid going up to me and said, no, that wasn't elementary school, that was 8th grade. In 8th grade, I said that I like Sonic, and then someone's like, oh, Sonic's ass. And I just let that get to me, and then, my that day was just not that great. Because I was a sensitive little prick back in the day, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't like something that somebody says, you shouldn't be like, oh, that's wrong, and you're stupid or something like that. No. That's not the way. This is not the way. Why did I say that? You gotta be more civil when you talk to people. The internet is the internet, there's gonna be bad people on the internet. That's just no question. That's a no-brainer. But at least try to be just I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's I don't know. It's let's say someone was talking to you about something you like. No, let's say you were talking to let's say a close friend or your significant other, and then they say something you don't agree with. You're not gonna go out of your way and just say something that'll make them feel bad. No. You're gonna be like, oof, I don't know about that one, Chief, or some shit like that. You know, you're not gonna just openly say, no, you're wrong and you should kill yourself or some shit like that. Like, no, that's not the way. The thing is, I don't know if I can really speak about this with the whole Sonic fan base, but you know, I think it's something that we just need to take into consideration. Cause like, even though there's like a lot of flaws with this fan base, like, you know, with the classic Sonic and modern Sonic, Adventure Sonic, all that bullshit, and you know, like the Sonic OC artists, well, some of them actually look pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie, some of the Sonic OCs actually look really dope. And then like just all the memes that are around Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog and the brand and all that, especially like in 2016, it's like, this fan base is not the greatest, but we don't have to make ourselves worse by fucking stabbing each other in the neck. But then like when someone like IGN says that, oh, Sonic was never good, and then that's when we all like come as one community, like come as a union, and then we bash the fuck out of IGN and be like, yo, the hell's wrong with you? Like what's up with you niggas? Like, yeah, this ain't the way. And then we all just come as one unit, and then we be like, we just punch these mofos in the face. I mean, it's not really a good example, but it's something. You know, so like, what I'm trying to say is like, we can disagree on things. That's just a no-brainer. That's gonna happen. People see things differently. People believe in ghosts. Some people don't. That was not a good analogy, but it's something. But you don't have to shoot somebody or like rip their neck to make them see. Like, they probably won't understand your way. You probably won't understand theirs. You might understand somebody's way and somebody might understand your way. It just depends on the person you meet. And you know, if someone really just doesn't want to like accept your side of the story, then just don't interact with them. Simple as that. Like, if you don't agree with the YouTuber's content, just stop watching. If you don't like how someone's talking to you, just don't be around them. You know, it's really that simple. Plus, it's the internet. Like what's like usually if someone's just talking to you and they just like they're rubbing you the wrong way, the block button is right there, my friend. It's not that hard. It's the fucking internet. Now, unless you know them in real life, that's a different story. But it's the internet, you know. I can't speak that way for content creators because, you know, them blocking every single hater is just gonna be too tedious. There's gonna be more people in this world that hate you than love you. That's just a no-brainer. And that was a cheesy ass analogy, but you know, it still stands. I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm gonna just cut it right here. Thanks for listening to me for like almost 14 minutes. Just something that I had on my mind. It was unscripted. You could hear me like stop a lot. So, you know, let me know what y'all think in the comments, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. This is just something that was on my head, like when scrolling through social media. So if you guys see my way, hey, what's good? If you don't, then that's fine. So I don't really have anything else to say. So bye.